Okay, here we are back in League of Legends, this time in the form of a post-game commentary, finally, as Nami. So you can see the team comps right there. Both teams had their top laners and jungles trade. Um, so I have Kai'Sa with me, they have Fiddle, Vayne running the gemstone skin, and so on. So anyway, this is the return to solo queue. I'm not gonna stick around for too long. I just did this to try to shake things up a bit, and as luck would have it, first game in is autofilled support. So anyway, the enemy team has a Nidalee jungle. Generally when I see those, I'm pretty confident we're going to win. When you're in higher rank stuff, the Nidalee actually does become something to be concerned about, but here it's going to feed. Well, it may not necessarily feed, but it will be ineffective. So right here I was a little torn on which item I wanted, because there's a case to be made for the coin, there's a case for spell thieves. I don't know which one would have been better. But anyway, for the team comps, you can see we have Teemo top, Graves jungle, Vladimir mid, and then I'm Nami partnered with Kai'Sa bot. Enemy team has Garen top, Nidalee jungle, their mid laner, I'm drawing a blank on, but it's Vayne and Fiddle bot. So here I'm showing off the runes that I'm running: Summon Airy, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, Gathering Storm, and then the Free Boots and the Cosmic Insight. So right here I was looking over her moves real quick to see if anything changed, and I don't think anything really has. She still has that whole awkward thing where her W weakens on its own, but once you get a certain amount of AP it actually gets stronger as it bounces. And she has one of the crappiest passes in the game, I'd have to say. It gives a surge of movement speed, but it's not like true movement speed. It does get reduced because of the way movement speed even works. Like, it'd be cool if it was just a flat amount for a period of time scaling with your AP. But instead they want the amount to scale for a measly 1.5 seconds. So overall I think it would be kind of cool if she could give you like a semi-ghost or a pseudo-ghost summoner spell by just using her W on you. But again, you do have to remember that it should apply to all of her spells. If the Q or the ult contact allies, it does give them movement speed. So right there we're getting a little bit of airy harass. And the thing is, Fiddle is the one that's going to keep this Vayne from getting utterly obliterated. So right there I just want to poke him a little bit, make sure I'm getting all these Spell Thief procs that I can get. And I do want to hit him with my W now and then so I can get the Mana Flow Band procs. Basically, once I have the Mana Flow Band as well as the items that I'm going to get, I have almost infinite mana here. Something you probably won't hear me say when I finally get around to playing mid lane. So right here I don't want to stand too close to Kai'Sa, otherwise the bird will bounce between us. So we finally hit level 2, but we're still quite a ways behind. Anyway, while we wait for this to oh wait a second. Double bubble. So right there we get Fiddle's flash. Teemo goes down, but it is a Teemo, so just remember that. So unfortunately I'm not really helping Kai'Sa set these up because I don't know how her little machine gun spell works exactly. What I'm kind of concerned about is that by trying to help her I may actually inadvertently put her in a worse spot. So right here Graves shows up. And Fiddle drowns in the bubble. So if you didn't see, Vayne was complaining about the smoke screen and I made a joke. Anyway, while we wait for this to play out, in reality I should have tanked this a lot sooner than I actually do. Well, I'll explain how Nami works for not familiar. Your passive is Surging Tide or something like that I want to say. Basically when you cast a spell on an ally, it gives them movement speed for 1.5 seconds. The amount of the movement speed scales off of your AP, which is so stupid. Q is Aqua Prison. You toss out a bubble on an area on the ground. Everything within the circle gets stunned. Remembered I forgot to look at the midline, but oh well. Your W is... Actually, that W might be Surging Tides, or Surging Wave, or something like that, but anyway. I'm gonna grab Triple Fairy Charm here, just so I have a lot of mana right now.
I still hear the song of the sea.
Anyway, your W is a targeted ability. You either target an ally or an enemy. It will bounce to and fro once it works that way, and then early on it gets weaker as it bounces, but late game it's supposed to get stronger. It will damage enemies and heal allies. So you can heal 2 allies per one cast, or damage 2 enemies. Thing is, they do have to be in kind of close proximity. Right there I was trying to point out Fiddle has no sustain. He's literally relying on his W to keep him topped off. So I should be helping her set these up, but like I said, that little machine gun spell, I don't know the details on it, so I'm not trying to interfere. I want to wreck a good thing just in case it is a good thing. Your E is Tidecolor's Blessing. You target an ally and you will give them 3 charges. Whenever they auto-attack, they'll consume a charge. It will deal bonus damage and slow an enemy. If your AD carry last hits with it, then it will still give them the gold for it, so you don't have to worry about inadvertently stealing it. It applies as kind of like Janna's buff, I guess. Not entirely sure, but right there you got to see the triple bounce. Well, double bounce, I should say, since it started off. Yeah. So zoning the Vayne is just as good as keeping her permanently down, killing her, so on. So she shows up, I just have to cast my W, and then she has to go back. It's Diana mid. Oh man, she gets so fed, I remember now. And then finally, your ult is the Tidal Wave. It's a pretty long-range ult. You will drop this giant wave that will travel in a straight line, obviously, but it will knock up every enemy in its way, and then it will slow them afterwards. I don't know if it's the severity of the slow or the duration that scales with how late in the tidal wave they were hit. So basically, it's a really nasty move in the jungle. So I don't know if that means that it's warded or if it automatically does that. I don't really play bot lane, so I can't say how Fiddle's Crow interacts with the brush, even though Fiddle is my 3rd most played character in the game. And keep in mind, she can tumble out of the W much more efficiently than I can cast it. The only thing that kind of turns that around is the part where I have a ton of mana regen and she doesn't. So anyway, next thing to talk about this matchup, Kai'Sa has a very unique build path relative to any AD carry in the game. She goes Rage Blade, and usually a crit item, and it changes from there. So if you notice, Vayne has tier 2 boots. I don't know how Kai'Sa is for gold, or if she even wants to go back. We can see the Ocean Dragons kicking in right there to increase our sustain even more than it already is. And I pulled that into us, which is a bit of a mistake. Like, the one nice thing about doing that is the Crow should do more damage than my bubble does, and as a result that will push this back. And you can see it's that Fiddle Fear that's going to keep Vayne alive, because she would have probably died 3 times by now, if not for that. So right here we both have level 6. I now have my boots. Fiddle is in the tri-brush up there. You're going to see him pop up in a second. I figured he went somewhere because we didn't see him, but there he is. So we take down Vayne, Fiddle gets the kills. I don't even think Vayne got an assist off on me, so Overall, she doesn't really benefit too much, but it's gonna help Fiddle still. Died to the minions because no one ever hit him. And now the next I'm gonna go for is the Chalice. I think I actually pull it up here so I can see the gold needed for it. That in turn's gonna give me more health regen, so I don't even have to use my heal on myself. I can just let myself naturally regen while protecting Kaisa. So you can see Vayne is not having a good game, and it does not get much better. The good news is Teemo will start to redeem himself, but that's about it.
Ew, whale breath.
So I'm close to finishing the whole mission thing. That'll give me the Sightstone, but not quite there yet. It's like our best case scenario is when Fiddle starts draining, I bubble him. That way we interrupt the channel, and then he CC'd, so we might be able to hurt him. The one thing that kind of sucks about this is Vayne will outscale Kaisa if given enough time. So the trick is to not give her enough time. So close. Yeah, Vayne is one of the examples of the whole mobility creep problem. It's very, very difficult to land skill shots against her just because of the tumble having like no cooldown in the first place. And right there I had to take him down so that we didn't have to worry about the Crow Storm. So we each get one. Here we want to lay into the tower to get the first one. So if you look at the minimap, Nidalee is headed our way. Diana is mid. We don't have eyes on Garen, but not really a big deal. So right here I'm looking to see if she's going to come from behind us. Ultimately what I want to do is when she jumps in, I want to drop the Aqua Prison to stun her, and from there we could look into killing her. That way we get first blood tower. We're able to peace out now and go spend our gold. And I do have my Sightstone finally. So I'm going for Ardent Sensor because I don't know specifically how this works. And by that what I'm saying is if I can give Kaisa attack speed, I don't know if that will actually proc her evolution at least for a little while. So it's like a temporary, like, I don't even want to call it like a power spike to be honest, because of the way this works exactly. Anyway, Graves is dead. You can't outrun the Vayne. I'm kind of afraid how annoying she's going to be when the Infinity Edge deals true damage as well as her just running Conqueror. Silver Bolts really have been nerfed for a long time, and she's probably going to be at the tipping point in the next patch. So right here I want to give that to Kaisa, that way if she gets close enough she can actually slow. Doing that one so they can't see us coming. And poor Emily. So I don't care about taking the Javelin shot because if she comes in on me, she's not going to have a good time. I'll bait her into the Teemo shrooms if she really wants to chase. And yeah, no fun for her. So right there I ended up taking it with the W bounce. Overall I didn't really think that would kill him, but you do have to remember I am maxing the W first. In the past when I played Nami I would usually max E, it's just with all of the changes that have occurred in the game, I think the W bounce is the best. Well, W max that is. So yeah, right there I was hoping I could have caught her, but she... yeah. Overall, they are much worse off than we are. Tidal Wave has a sizable cooldown, but it's nowhere near as big as Crowstorm. So right there I want to stop Garen, and I'm willing to tank the tower, just to get him out of there safely. Give that to Kaisa so she can kite back if need be. And a little bit of extra harass so they have something to remember me by. So right there, Diana flashed, and you can see right here how strong she actually is. Luckily the Teemo Shroom is buying us a little bit of time. Teemo dies to the Crow. Right there I have Ardent Sensor. Now on account of the Fiddle Fear, I actually need Merc Treads this game. It's also going to help by just giving me more MR, so I have a little bit of protection from Nidalee, Diana, and Fiddle himself. So right here I'm just going to hit stick around base for the last couple bits of gold. And there we go, tier 2 boots. So if you look on the minimap in the bot lane, you'll see Graves and Vayne. Graves right now I think is farming the Gromp, and there's Nidalee.
Ride upon the waves.
There's Fiddle. And right here, Graves makes the brilliant idea of, hey, I'm gonna get out of the way. Can't bait her out, like I can't bait her into the tidal wave or anything, and that's just one of those things that makes me shake my head in disbelief. So right there I wanted to deny the blasting cone. And yeah, even though she jumps on me, she doesn't really have anything to show for it. What's worse is Garen is out of position. Sadly we lose sight before we can go ahead and catch him. And right there you can see I'm back to full. Overall she can heal just as easily, but here comes the Crowstorm. So right there's a surge of movement speed. And right here we get to watch the tower go down. So while this is going on, who knows where Graves is. So I am going to go for a build that's going to emphasize the items that enhance healing. I may as well abuse those while they're still a thing, because Ryan is supposed to be taking a look at them. Overall, I really don't know what all they're going to be able to do to change, because it'll just redefine the support role entirely. And if they don't shield and heal, they're basically just mid laners with less income.
We are all tied to the ocean.
Once again, there's the fear.
Swim against the current.
And don't worry, I'll just drop this Aqua Prison here, and I won't steal it this time. So right here I can cash out my stacks on the tower. I don't think Aerie moves with my E, just my W. And yeah, while they're defending that one, maybe we can loop around, catch someone on their way top. And Diana shows up to ruin the whole thing. So remember that Garen's Q does shed slows, as a result Teemo's in a bad spot and needs a little bit of help. And judging from how long he was not CC'd, I'm guessing he has Merc Treads by now. So next thing we're going to go for is Redemption, I believe. I grabbed the Ruby Crystal here.
Quit walking around.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if getting the Eye of the Watchers is really worth it. It does give you a 4th ward, which is kind of nice. And overall, I should have swapped my trinket out, but I didn't.
Ew.
And yes, Nibbly and Graves will argue the remainder of the game who stinks.
Rampage.
My answer is Graves, though.
Against the current.
So right there we see Nibbly, I give Vlad the movement speed. Not entirely sure how Vayne died there, but she did. Basically, I want to stick next to Kaisa. Looks like Vlad has Spellbinder. It's kind of interesting.
We are all tied to the
Sadly, I'm not like Soraka, like being able to spam the W to charge that up for him. Yeah, we're a bit of a dicey spot in that regard. So while Kaisa did just take a javelin to the face, if you look, she's in pretty solid shape. Gross one thing. So we get Nidalee, but as a result, Diana gets Vlad, and like I said, she gets really fed.
My quest beckons.
So right here, since I have my summoners up, I am trying to lay a trap. Not enough to save Graves. So in case you're wondering, yes, my heal did bounce off of Vayne to him, but it's not quite enough. Diana's going to use her E here to pull Teemo out, but unfortunately for her, I am here to help him. So we did get her Ignite, which is kind of big. So right there I now have the Bracer, gives me a little bit more health, gives me more health regen. And the next dragon fight right here is when things go kind of bad. So Vlad pops Shurelia's. I give him area, I give him healing. So Graves is on his way here, the dragon is up. I'm thinking we can corral them right here and get a fight in. But Vlad goes bot. So this goes really, really wrong. So right here we're not sure if we want to go in or out or what. And basically they grouped, we didn't. So as a bonus for grouping, they go ahead and get this dragon too. And now Vlad shows up. So at this point there's really nothing he could look to do. And since Graves is a dumbass, I'm just muting him now. If you're wondering why, think of all the stupid shit he's done up to this point. All those weird split pushes, those suicides. Yeah.
Ride upon the waves.
Sadly, so far for the games I have lined up, I will be muting at least one person each game. So Teemo is still top lane. He's not really that good at actually pushing for some reason. Like at this stage of the game, he should actually be like on the verge of getting his next item. Right there you can see he got blown up. I assume that was from Diana because, like I said, she's the fed one. For Nidalee, she can do a nice little burst of damage with her javelin, but nowhere near as much as Diana. And once again, the Fiddle Fear has bailed them out. So I'm going to make a bit of a mistake in my build here. Because of the fear, I'm going to go for a Mikhail's Crucible. With the benefit of hindsight, I know now that I should have actually just went with Athene's. By the time I actually do get the Crucible, the game is winding down, and at that point, like, they being my allies, don't actually stick close enough to me to where I can use it. So right there, I'm just helping him clear that stuff out. Diana goes for me, so I go ahead and hit her with my entire combo, exhaust and wounded. Fiddle gets caught in the Aqua Prison just as he Crow Storms in. And at this point, I want to throw in the towel because, once again, they grouped. Look at Teemo.
An enemy has been slain.
It would be one thing if he actually could push. You'd argue, yeah, he's the split pusher, but he's not pushing. Like, he's top lane, he's gained last hits, but the enemy team is pushing harder than him, they're fighting better than him, they're farming better than him. There's literally no metric working to his advantage. Guy can't even harass that well. Just right there, Vlad uses Shurelya's, but once again, fear to the rescue.
Flopping around.
So right there, I'm giving the movement speed and slow to Kaisa. Doesn't actually give me any assists or anything, but not a big deal. Right there, I get to pop their ward as soon as they drop it, which is why I do not like the blue trinket in the slightest. So right there, we put him in the Aqua Prison. He goes down. Here comes the Crow Storm. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah. So they're down a man and a pretty big ult. And since Kaisa's the only one I really rely on, she's the one I'm going to give preferential heals to. So right there I'm giving it to Graves, giving the movement speed so he can get out. And I'm dropping that to deter Fiddle. So right here I want to ward this because I didn't know if they were actually going to make an attempt for it. And right here Nidalee has her eyes on the blue. Wanted to make her pay a little bit for it, but she still does get it. Now there's going to be a fight in the river. Nidalee speeds off because of the way her passive works. And right here is when I finally resolved, yeah, I don't care what happens, I'm going back. A fight will break out, but I now have redemption. I don't know if I were called on a ward or what exactly, it's just I couldn't really afford to wait any longer. They were just dancing around, and we didn't have a way to initiate outside of my tidal wave. Overall, it's not really a big deal. As you can see, we did take down Vayne, Garen, and Nidalee. And that basically opens up the mid for us. So in case you're wondering what's causing things to turn around, it's the bot lane. If you look, Diana's decided to split push like Teemo does, and that was what was costing us the game. So for some reason now she's deciding she wants to lose the game.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
overall at this point I think she's in KDA protection mode, so like up until now, I think Diana has yet to be killed. Yeah, that's right, not yet. So unlike the dragon, this time I am trying to tank the Baron. Sappers, I am extremely squishy, so we needed to wait for Graves to get around and then we could actually take this. It's right here, Diana's right at her team. It's always a bad sign when that happens in all chat, but yeah. So anyway, right here I make the mistake, like, I should have just went through, grabbed the Crucible, not the Crucible. I grabbed the Crucible, I should have grabbed the Grail. So anyway, the Grail would have actually given better healing, just due to the, like, additional amount rather than the percentage, and then the cleanse. You'll see that just doesn't really pay off. The game's winding down anyway, so like this late, I probably would have just been better off getting the Grail. So I thought Diana hadn't died yet, but maybe she has. Anyway, so right here we're trying to converge on the bot side, grab the dragon while we're at it. Being able to get the Cloud Dragon is pretty valuable because we can get away from Diana, possibly dodge her Q, all that fun stuff. And then you have to remember that is in combat movement speed these days. After a year of it being out of combat, I'm probably going to be saying that for probably another month or so, and then hopefully people just remember. So I'm waiting. Hang 10, Diana. So I want to say that's her first and only death. So right there you can see Nidalee showed up, she almost nailed Vlad. Fid's here charging his Crow Storm. So keep in mind I could have used Redemption, I could use Crucible here. It would have saved Kaisa, the Redemption came too late. And yeah, that's the end of the game. So we have the Baron buff, we have the minions here, the entire team is here, that's it. So they ended up throwing in the towel, and that is our Nami game. So overall not as smooth as it could have been. I did have to mute a teammate, and yeah, new norm, I'm afraid. So anyway, let's see the end of game stats. I give this to Kaisa because she was a really good partner. Much better than I've gotten used to these days. So right there's the 2 inhibitor mission complete. There's a lot of missions this time around. So kill Baron and do some other stuff. But anyway, that is it. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.